Ella loved toys. Her room was a kaleidoscope of colors, filled with dolls, cars, puzzles, and stuffed animals of every shape and size. But no matter how many toys she had, she always wanted more. Every time a new toy caught her eye, she begged her parents for it, promising it would be the last one. And yet, once she had it, the toy would soon be cast aside, forgotten in the ever growing pile. One rainy afternoon, Ella was playing with her newest robot when she accidentally stepped on an old teddy bear lying on the floor. The bear had once been her favorite, but now it was worn, missing an eye, and covered in dust. She kicked it aside with a sigh. "You're useless now," she muttered. Eh, As Ella turned back to her robot, she noticed something strange. The room seemed to darken, and a soft melodic voice filled the air. "Ella, it's time you learned to value what you have." Before she could respond, a swirl of golden light surrounded her, and she felt herself being lifted off the ground. When the light faded, Ella found herself standing in a strange place. The sky was a soft purple, and towering mountains of discarded toys stretched as far as the eye could see. Broken dolls, dusty cards, torn books, and ragged stuffed animals were scattered everywhere. "Where am I?" Ella whispered. "Welcome to the kingdom of forgotten toys," said a deep, raspy voice. Ella spun around to see a patchwork bear walking toward her. Its fur was stitched together from mismatched fabrics, and one button eye dangled loosely. Despite its odd appearance, the bear's face was kind. "Who are you?" Ella asked, her voice trembling. "I am Sir Patches, the guardian of this kingdom," the bear replied. "This is where all the toys you no longer care about end up." Ella's eyes widened as she recognized some of the toys around her. There was the doll she had begged for last Christmas, now missing its arm. Nearby was the train set her grandparents had given her for her birthday, its tracks broken and bent. She snatched it and hid it, and but but why are they all here? Hella stammered. "Because you abandoned them," Sir Patches said gently. "Toys have feelings too. They come to life here in this world, but they carry the sadness of being forgotten." Ella's heart sank. "I didn't mean to. I just got busy with other things." Sir Patches tilted his head. "Perhaps. But now you must see the consequences of your actions." The bear led Ella through the kingdom. She saw stuffed animals sitting in gloomy circles, their fur matted and torn. A group of dolls whispered to each other, their once bright dresses faded and tattered. Remote controlled cars lay on their sides, their wheels spinning aimlessly. "They all miss being loved," Sir Patches said, "once they brought you joy, but now they sit here, forgotten and broken." Ella's eyes filled with tears. She reached out to pick up a small stuffed bunny she had adored as a toddler. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. "I didn't know." The bunny's button eyes sparkled for a moment, and it nuzzled against her hand. Sir Patches smiled. "There may still be hope for you, Ella. But first you must prove that you've learned your lesson." "How?" Ella asked eagerly. "You must mend what is broken," Sir Patrick said. "Show these toys that you still care." He handed her a needle and thread, a small bottle of glue, and a roll of tape. Ella nodded determinedly and got to work. She stitched up the torn teddy bears, glued wheels back onto cars, and taped together ripped books. As she worked, the toys began to brighten, their colors returning, their expressions softening. Hours passed, but Ella didn't stop. Her hands ached and her knees were sore, but she kept going. Finally, she stood back and looked at the once broken toys, now looking almost new. How am I doing? The toys began to move, smiling and waving at her. Thank you, Ella, they said in unison. Thank you for remembering us. Sir Patches stepped forward, his patched face beaming. You've done well, Ella. But remember, this is only the beginning. When you return home, you must treat your toys with care and gratitude. They are more than things. They are memories and friends. Ella nodded. I promise I'll never forget them again. Down the hall. From that day on, Ella never took her toys for granted. She played with each one, cherishing the memories they brought. And when she no longer needed them, she made sure they found new homes where they could be loved again. The kingdom of forgotten toys faded into a distant memory, but its lesson stayed with Ella forever. True happiness doesn't come from always wanting more. It comes from valuing what you already have.